here's a story from my KPMG days. So I get hired and they put two jobs into one for me. And they hired another person. So I had this big group, like biggest group. And they were on their sixth try of the CMDB, the sixth. And so I inherited the same team that had tried the first five. I inherited the same stakeholders of the first five. I inherited everything. Not to make it even worse, the project was already a month behind. And they're like, here you go. And so just by knowing what to do and how to look at scope and how should we measure, I was able to get it. And it never had been above like a 55% accuracy. We got it to 83% in 6 months and got even further. But it's the knowing how. Like expertise is a big thing. Mm-hmm. Their mistakes were very common. And I'll tell you, the two things that are big mistakes, and it has to do with any tool. It's not just ServiceNow. One is taking an IT-centric view. So like the big key of CMDB and all that other stuff is, what do your stakeholders need and want? Because usually and it bleeds over to asset as well. But if you're keeping track of more things than your stakeholders want or need, it costs you resources. If you have one thing that's really important and four things that are not important, and you treat them all equally, the one thing that's really important will not be done well. I mean, it's just the way it is. And so understanding that it's an outside-in view of service management and asset management. What do our stakeholders need? And really be hyper-focused on what do they need? How do I help deliver it? That's the first and foremost. And the second part is, most of the time the tool has been misimplemented. I don't want to really get into that because I'll cause enemies. And I'm a friendly guy. I don't like causing enemies. But it's been misimplemented, and there are people internally that don't want to adapt to how it should be. So you have this big divide, this chasm, where the tool's not being used right, and it wasn't implemented the way it could be, should be, would be. And so there's this chasm that needs to be reconciled.